So if you'll just introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Hana Stith, and I am presently the curator and the general manager of the African American Historical Society Museum. I am the founder of the museum, and the museum was founded and opened in the year 2000. We will soon celebrate our 10th anniversary. Sometimes people are wondering, why is it necessary to have an African American museum? We are the premier African American museum in the entire state of Indiana. We're a grassroots museum. And it was necessary to found this museum because there is no place in the state that collects, displays African American history as we do in Fort Wayne, in our museum. We acquired our building in 1999. It was formerly a duplex, and we have 12 rooms and we have 11 exhibits. We're very proud to be here, and as I said previously, it is a grassroots museum, which means that we collected all of the materials in the museum ourselves. Our first exhibit is called Coming to America, and it explains how Africans first came to America. Very interesting. Our second exhibit is an African village. It gives the background of the Africans before they came to America. It's a village that would be set maybe in the 1600s in West Africa. We only speak of West Africa in our building because that's where the first slaves came from. Our next exhibit is Inventions by African Americans. African Americans have many inventions that people don't know, and they have conveniently been left out of the history books. So it's very enlightening, educational, and informative to come to our building for this exhibit. Our fourth exhibit would be political figures of the Reconstruction period. When blacks were freed and the 15th Amendment was added to the Constitution, which gave the men the right to vote, they voted. And at that time, from the southern states only, which was predominantly black in population, especially South Carolina, they elected congressmen. We had 20 congressmen during the Reconstruction period and 2 senators. And ironically, let's compare it to today. Today we have 40 congressmen, and we only have 1 senator. Our President of the United States, Barack Obama, formerly was the only black senator. And now the gentleman that took his place is the only senator that we have in our United States government. And then we have Music of My People. And blacks have been very, very outstanding in musical contributions to America. So we look at the wonderful contributions that blacks have made in the field of music. And then we have a library. We have a nice collection of books. So if you'd like to do some research, you're welcome to come to our museum and do some research. And then we have a local history room, which is what we started out to be, was a local history. And we have some of the outstanding contributions made by local African Americans. And they are basically all from Fort Wayne. And then we have an Underground Railroad room. We are included in the Underground Freedom Trails. And at one time, this was the office for Fort Wayne for the Freedom Trails. And the office did not do very much, so we turned it into an exhibit on the Underground Railroad. And Harriet Tubman is featured in this exhibit. She was the most outstanding conductor on the Underground Railroad. So you could come and meet Harriet. And then we have a sports archives. Indiana and Fort Wayne, they love sports. So we have a room that is dedicated to Rod Woodson, who is the first African American to reach such high acclaim in football. And then we have basketball, and that basketball display exhibit was done in honor of Bobby Milton. He was the first black to play professional basketball. And would you believe me that in 1946 there were no professional NBA blacks playing with the NBA? Bobby graduated from high school in 1946. He couldn't play with the National Basketball Association, so he started with Globetrotters in 48, and he was with them for 34 years. So Bobby is featured in our sports room. And then we also have an exhibit on John Bright, who was the first black to play professional ball from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He played with Canada because of an incident he had had in college at Drake University. And that's interesting. And then downstairs we have a store, and our storeroom is dedicated to Mr. William Warfield, the first black man to live on Douglas Street. And this year, he moved on Douglas 100 years ago. And we have one of the most precious and valuable collections that we have in our museum is a collection of diaries of Mr. Warfield. This is very unusual for any man, not necessarily a black man, but any man, to have a collection of diaries. We have them from 1909 through 1936, 27 years, and he writes every day what happened in Fort Wayne. The temperature, the happenings, who was born, who died, who was arrested, accurate records like you would not believe. We are very proud, very, very proud to have a museum of this magnitude, homegrown museum, and I feel as though, it helps to motivate and build pride. In any place there are black people, we need to have a black museum. We're proud to be in Fort Wayne, and in February of this year we will celebrate our 10th anniversary. And I am so very happy to let you know about our museum, and I do hope that after you hear or see this video, you will be so anxious to come to our museum, and we'll be very anxious to have you as a visitor. Get on the internet, and you will find the African American Historical Society Museum, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Have a good day, God bless, and thank you so very much.